Kartika Giridhari, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai, Nitya Lila Vishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishimar, Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudeva ki jai, Nitya Lila Vishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishimar, Bhakti Vedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shatashmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shatashmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shatashmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Vishnu Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gurudeva Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Vishwa Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nitya Vishwa Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Śrī Rūpānu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrī Rūpa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jeev Gopala Padadasa Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Śrī Swarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर शरणागति कीर्तन की जय। जय श्री His Kalyana Kalpataru Gitavali and Gitamala ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. All right. Hare Krishna. All right, let's do the Mangala Charan. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Kodiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bharati Mingilo Daragatan Udhritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukham Pradat Prabhuntang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajang Radharasa Sudhanidim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistang Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha. Oops. Sorry, I spaced out. Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas. No, sorry. Sorry, guys. My mind is going a bunch of places right now. So Vrishabhanusutanvitavamatanu Yamuna Tatanagaranandasutam Murali Kalagita Vinoraparam Bhajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Smaragoragadadara Kelikalam Bhavagoragadadara Pakshachara Shrinugoragadadara Pakshachara Bhajagodruma Shrinugoragadadara Charukatang Bhajagodruma Kanana Kunjavidum Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai kshiptastakama ditaranga madhye kripa mai tvam sharanam prapana vrinde namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Let's see. Sarveshwari Mataji, Satya Mataji, Champak Mataji, Anari Krishna Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji. Let's see who's there on YouTube and Facebook. 1 second. Nobody on YouTube or Facebook yet. All right. So yeah, sorry for starting late today. I'm totally in songbook mode right now, and just added in 6 more kirtans like just now, and was working out something with the layout. So my mind's a little bit distracted right now, and I wasn't able. We're starting a bit late, so maybe just for today we'll skip the Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur glorification just because I don't have anything ready. And but yeah, today's program, we will be going through Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. So I was thinking, what should we read from our acharyas on this topic? And the first thing that came to my mind was Ambarish Mahārāja, because we hear how he engaged all his senses in the service of Krishna. And this song, Shuddha Bhakata, is explaining how we can use all of our senses in everything that's favorable for Krishna. We can use all our senses in Krishna's service and going to the Dhamma. And so I thought that would be, yeah, that would fit nicely. Yes, Sarveshwari Mataji. Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
In Melbourne, here in Melbourne, is today's Raghunandana Disappearance and Vaṁśī dāsa Vaṁśī Bābājī.
Vadananda Thakur. Oh, Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Maharaj.
I don't know if they are in India, but here is today.
I actually haven't been on top of the calendar lately. Let me just check when it is in India. It is today. Huh. I wonder if we should switch this program around then. Okay, yeah, let's read about Vaṁśī dāsa. Yeah, and then I can actually prepare something more nice for tomorrow. Just now I found a bunch of different quotes on Ambarish Maharaj, and so I was just going to read all those different things. But I think, yeah, I'll be able to set up a nicer program. Okay, so let's do that. Thanks for mentioning that. All right, so man, okay, so Jai Śrīla. Wait, let me just look at the calendar. Jai Śrīla Vaṁśī, wait, is it Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī? Yeah. Jai Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Jai Śrī Raghunandana Ṭhākura ki jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Oh, Raghunandana Ṭhākura, that's one of my, such a endearing pastime when he's, yeah. All right, so let's read I guess should we start? Maybe we'll start with Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, and then we'll move on to read about Raghunandana Ṭhākura. So what's a good place to read about? I think in my Gurudev's Navadvīpa-dhāma Parikramā book. Let's look there. Okay. I think it's here. GBP books. Navadvīpa-dhāma Parikramā. Where is that? Navadvīpa-dhāma Parikramā. Did I skip it? That's strange. Oh, there it is. I skipped it. Okay. And then Raghunandana Ṭhākura. Okay, let's just first open this. So, the glories of Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja. Okay. Okay. So the highly exalted Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, a contemporary of Śrīla Gaura-Kishora dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, was completely dedicated to bhajan. And this is my Śrīla Gurudev in his Navadvīpa-dhāma Parikramā book. So Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, who's a contemporary of Gaura-Kishora, he's completely dedicated to bhajan. On the bank of the Ganga and Kulia's Nutan Chara, he built a hut where he performed his bhajan. He worshipped his Sri Gaur Nityananda deities with bhav seva, serving them with great love and affection, sometimes reproaching them, sometimes fighting and quarreling with them, and sometimes crying in separation from them. Even great philosophers were confounded by his fathomless attachment to his deities and the sentiments hidden within his heart. Once, when he was picking flowers from a kanera tree next to his bhajan kutir, a young boy forbade him to do so, and an argument ensued. The boy pushed Bābājī Mahārāja, who fell and hurt his feet. Bābājī Mahārāja returned to his hut, threatening Sri Gaur Nityananda, saying, "Why did you send me to pick flowers? And why did this boy push me? I will not serve you." He became sulky, but Bābājī was unable to stay in this mood for long, and soon he again became absorbed in his service. He used to become so blissfully absorbed in Nam Bhajan that he would forget to follow Akadashi, and on other occasions, he would observe Akadashi for 3 or 4 days, even fasting from water. Sometimes he greatly glorified Nityananda Prabhu and would call Mahaprabhu mischievous. Sometimes, I think it'd be the other way around. No, but Mahaprabhu, I guess also when they're young, they were Mahaprabhu is the most mischievous. Sometimes, to avoid materialistic people and materialistic so-called Vaishnavas, he would throw impure items like fish bones and fins around his hut so that ordinary men would think him low class and stay away from him. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati acknowledged him as a Siddha Mahapurush and greatly honored him. And Srila Saraswati Thakura's disciples would visit him. It was very difficult to understand Srila Bābājī Mahārāja's manner of speaking and his moods, because he was always roaming in the internal kingdom of bhakti. Jai Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. All right, so now we will read about Raghunandana Ṭhākura from Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tīrtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Sri Caitanya and his associates. Let's open that up. Okay. 1 second. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, this story is so sweet. And there's a really nice kirtan that is quoted in the Bengali, but they didn't give the Bengali here, so we can't sing it. They just give the English. I mean, the English translation. But it's a really sweet song. I've heard, yeah, about Raghunandana Ṭhākura. Raghunandana Ṭhākura. Should we read it? Is there something about Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja here as well? There is. So let's read what Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tīrtha Gosvāmī has to say about Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja. Yeah, and then we'll read about Raghunandana Ṭhākura. Okay. So this article is based on other articles that previously appeared in the old Gaudiya magazine and various statements made by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur and his disciples. The Paramahamsa Avadut. Okay. Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja appeared in the village of Majidpur in the Singh district of current Bangladesh, near the city of Jamalpur. The names of Bābājī Mahārāja's parents are not known. Bābājī Mahārāja came to Navadvīpa from East Bengal. He was a Paramahamsa Vaishnava who acted in the manner of an avadut. And we're including a definition for avadut in the songbook and the Jagannath Ashtakam. It's very interesting. Let me just open this up. This is where would it be? This is a good definition of avadut. Where is it? New songs, Guru Vaishnava. There it is, Jagannath Ashtakam. All right. So avadut. Hey, where's my definition of avadut? Oh, is it for the Gorkishara Ashtakam? Maybe it's the Gorkishara Ashtakam. Sorry. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, avadut. Śrīla Vallabhacharya describes an avadut as one who is entirely devoid of bodily urges, deha sangskarahit, and appears as though inert, jada. Jada can also mean foolish or like that. Then, and now here's a breakdown of all the words in avadut. So, a, va, du, and ta. So the syllable a stands for akshar, inexhaustible. Va stands for varenya, respectable. Du stands for dhutta sangsar bandhanat, removes the shackles of material bondage. And ta stands for tattvam asyartha siddhitvat, established in the import of the Vedic aphorism tattvam asi, you are that. So that was from Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's Gaudiya Bhashya of Caitanya Bhagavat Madhya Lila, 810. All right. So he was a Paramahamsa Vaishnava who acted in the manner of an avadut. Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī lived in Navadvīpa under a tree on the banks of the Ganga, demonstrating a very high standard of renunciation. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur was attracted by his Paramahamsa Vaishnava behavior and his disregard for the rules and regulations of society at large. Śrīla Prabhupada himself paid his obeisances to Bābājī Mahārāja from a distance, but did not allow his disciples to go near him. His disciples wouldn't be able to comprehend. Sorry, what's going on? Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. This is weird. I can hear myself talking. Oh, there. Okay. Srila Prabhupada himself paid his obeisances to Babaji Maharaj from a distance, but did not allow his disciples to go near him. For though Babaji Maharaj was a Paramahansa Vaishnava, an ordinary beginner in devotional practice would likely misunderstand his indifference to the rules and regulations and end up committing offenses at his feet. The primary purpose of the rules and regulations is to bring pleasure to Shri Radha Govinda. A practitioner who has not yet overcome his mundane conditioning may very well judge an advanced Vaishnava according to rules and regulations, which were designed to help him advance to the next level of spiritual realization. If he measures a perfected soul by the standards which have been set for the beginner, as a result of committing offenses, he falls down from the devotional path. It is said that Babaji Maharaj had 2 cloth bags. He kept his Nitai Gaur deities in one, Radha Govinda in the other. He regularly worships them, taking them out of the bags and serving them mentally with mantras. Then, after the worship, he would place the deities back in their bags. On occasion, he would leave them outside so that people could look at them. Once in a while, he would offer tobacco to Radha Govinda in a hookah, but not to Nitai Gauranga. Many people would come bringing offerings of rice, fruits, vegetables, flour, or bananas, but Babaji Maharaj would ignore them. When he noticed an accumulation of such offerings, he would mentally offer them to his deities and then distribute the remnants to whoever happened to be present. Who can understand such enigmatic behavior? Babaji Maharaj was tall enough to be able to pick fruits for his puja from the high branches of a tree without making use of ladders or other paraphernalia. On one occasion, he fell from the tree, and from that time on, he took on the guise of a lame person. He only wore a kopin, a strip of cloth covering his private parts, and left his hair and beard uncut and unkempt. Babaji Maharaj's voyage to Braj. Babaji Maharaj did not stay exclusively in the Navadvīpa area, but traveled to many holy places where he also performed his spiritual practices. He embodied the verse, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati, and wherever he went, he always remained immersed in the ocean of Krishna Ras. Therefore, everything reminded him of Krishna Lila, but especially the banyan tree. Whenever he saw a banyan tree, he would sit under it, taking it to be Vaṁśī under which Krishna played his flutes to attract the gopis. Once he had stationed himself there, it would be difficult to get him to move. On the 12th of Falgun, 1347, Monday, February 24, 1941, Babaji Maharaj left Navadvīpa city and headed for Vrindavan. He sometimes walked, sometimes he traveled by ox cart, and sometimes by rail. He first went to Katwa, where he stayed for 2 days under a vat tree near the train station. Then he took the train to Bhagalpur, where he stayed for 1 day under a vat tree near the station and then for 4 days by the Ganga. Then he traveled on to Gaya, where he remained on the banks of the Falgu River for 3 days. He also stayed on a boat in the Ganga near Dash Ashwamedha Ghat in Benares for 3 days, spent another 3 days in Ayodhya by the Sarayu River, including 3 hours under a vat tree at the Triveni confluence at Prayag. Then he was at Triveni confluence at Prayag for 10 days, 2 days at the Vishram Ghat in Mathura, 8 days at the Vaṁśī Ghat in Vrindavan, 9 days at the Madhya Chara on the banks of the Yamuna, 1 day at the Govindaji temple, 2 days at Kaliyadaha, 8 days under a tamal tree on the east bank of the Suryakund at Nandagram, 2 days at Pavan Sarovar, 4 days at the foot of a pilu tree, and then another 9 days at Vaṁśī Ghat in Vrindavan. Everywhere he went, he remained absorbed in chanting the holy names and meditating on Krishna's form and pastimes. After 3 months, he returned to Navadvīpa-dhāma in the month of Jeshta. Those who traveled with Babaji Maharaj recounted that when wandering through Vrajmandal, He would sometimes sing songs about Krishna's pastimes. Once again, oh my God. He'd sometimes sing songs about Krishna's pastimes, sometimes glorify Navadvīpa-dhāma, sometimes chant loudly, sometimes laugh madly, sometimes he would babble incoherently. Sometimes he'd babble incoherently, and oftentimes he would remain completely silent. When visiting a temple, he was often seen muttering confidentially to the deities, disclosing some personal sentiment to them. All in all, his companions were charmed by his devotional absorption. In the old Gaudiya Weekly magazine, further accounts of Babaji Mahārāja's travels were given. It stated there that between 1943 to 1944, he traveled to Ambika Kalna, Kharagpur, Baleshwar, Shoro, Bhadrak, Khorda Road, and Purushottam Dham. Afterwards, he again visited Gaya, Kashi, Saidpur, Patna, Munger, etc. After traveling to all these places, some devotees from his birthplace in Majidpur invited him to come for a visit. He acquiesced to their enthusiasm, but found little pleasure in going. He said that it was a place which the Pandavas had neglected. Pandava Varjita Desh. Now here's Śrīla Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj's encounter with Babaji Maharaj. The founding Acharya of the Sri Caitanya Gaudiya Math, my spiritual master, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Srimad Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj, told his disciples a story about a personal encounter he had with Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja. Gurudeva founded an ashram in Medinipur city, Sri Shamananda Gaudiya Math, with the help of two of his godbrothers, Śrīla Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Maharaj and Śrīla Bhakti Kumud Santa Maharaj. On one occasion, Babaji Maharaj was traveling and passed through Medinipur. When Gurudeva received the news that Babaji Maharaj was coming with a group of devotees by ox cart, he immediately sent a disciple to invite him and his other companions to visit the math. Babaji Maharaj promised the disciple that he would come, and so Gurudeva started to make preparations to receive the party of pilgrims. However, after the midday offering and arati, no one from Babaji Maharaj's party came. Srila Gurudeva waited for some time and finally took several of his disciples and went looking for him. When Babaji Maharaj had entered the city with his party, he had seen a vata tree and had taken it to be Vaṁśī Bhat. He had camped there and planned to make an offering to his deities and feed his party there. When he saw Gurudeva, Babaji Maharaj remembered his affection for Srila Prabhupada and offered him some sweet rice prasad. And he offered him some sweet rice prasad, which Gurudeva accepted respectfully. I often heard Gurudeva say how delicious the sweet rice tasted that day. I wonder what he did with all the prasad. Okay, now Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj reminisces. Our Shiksha Guru, the most revered Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, also told us a few anecdotes about Babaji Maharaj, incidents that he had witnessed personally. Once, a pile of fruit intended for the service of the deities had accumulated at Babaji Maharaj's cottage by the Ganga, and Babaji would not let anyone lay a finger on it. One day, however, a cow entered the cottage and ate all the fruits. Though they tried, no one was able to drive the cow away. Meanwhile, Babaji Maharaj watched and laughed, clapping his hands. Out of curiosity, I asked Baba's disciple, whose name was Purna or Punya, why Baba was laughing. This is Śrīla Bhakti Puri Goswami talking. He said, last night, a thief stole all the deities and cooking pots. They stole the deities and cooking pots? My God. Now a cow has come and eaten all the fruits. So he is beside himself with joy and is laughing and saying, one thief gives and another thief takes away. Krishna is the supreme thief. Now, Srila Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj continues. Oh, I wonder if this is them sitting together. Because I thought this is Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj. Yeah. Okay, so I guess they're sitting together, I'm guessing. So Srila Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj continues. Babaji Maharaj never allowed anyone to touch his feet, except once. On the day after Falguni Purnima, the festival celebration of Jagannath Mishra. Babaji Maharaj was so ecstatic that he forgot his rule and became as generous as a desire tree. So on that day, I was fortunate enough to get the dust of his lotus feet. I also had the good fortune of getting his prasadi leftovers. We have heard that Srila Babaji Maharaj took Babaji Vesh from our Param Gurudev, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Babaji Maharaj relished hearing devotional songs. One day, he heard Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's couplet, Tyajiya Shayana Sukha Vichitra Palanka, Kabe Vrajer Dhulai Dhusar Habe Anga. It's actually Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Kabe Habo Vrindavana. Sorry, Hari Hari Kabe Habo Vrindavana. But yeah, it means, when will I give up the pleasure of sleeping in a comfortable bed and roll in the dust of Vrindavan? Tears rolled down from his eyes and his voice choked. Babaji Maharaj said, "You are only singing a song. It only bursts open for those who have burst open. The song only bursts open for those who have burst open." In other words, we only sing the songs of the Mahajans, but we feel no emotion. When the dust of the holy places covers our bodies, we only think of brushing it off. We have no real idea of its value. Another day, however, someone started singing one of these new-fangled invented mantras that contradict Siddhanta and divine sentiment. Babaji Maharaj said, "That name is not allowed here." One gentleman often came to visit Babaji Maharaj and kept asking him for his mercy. One day, Baba finally became impatient. He took off his kopin and handed it to the gentleman and said, "You want my mercy? Here it is, take it." The visitor was frightened by the manner in which Baba challenged him. We have heard that all perfections come from the grace of the Vaishnavas, but we do not have the sincerity necessary to really take their blessings when they are given. What is the use of repeatedly imploring them to be merciful if we don't mean it? We had an elderly godbrother named Gokul Das Bābājī. His family home was not far from that of Babaji Maharaj. Gokul Das Baba went frequently to see Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Maharaj, and when they got together, they would joyfully converse about Krishna in the Maimansingh dialect. Maimansingh dialect. Babaji Maharaj's teachings. Babaji Maharaj was normally occupied with his devotional activities. He minded his own business and spoke little. He would talk to his deities, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying desperately, but he did not speak much to others. Many people would come to him. Often they would ask him questions. Mostly he remained silent, and if he took any notice at all, he'd usually answer indirectly. If he did give spiritual instruction, he would rarely cite scripture, but always spoke from his personal realization. In 2 or 3 short phrases, he'd make a deep impression on the listener. Once he had a regular visitor who kept asking him, "How can we attain God?" Babaji Maharaj just remained silent, giving the questioner no answer. One day, he suddenly looked at this visitor and asked him, "What do you want?" The fellow replied, "I want to find God." Babaji Maharaj answered in one word, "Cry." Those who visited him occasionally reported the short answers that he gave to their questions. Some of these were noted down and are given here. Okay, so here, question. "Baba, what should we do?" Answer. "If you worship Nitai, you will get Gaur. All your unhappiness will disappear and you will begin to feel real joy." Question. "How can one become free from the demands of the senses?" Answer. Shuniya Govindaravo apani palabe savo Singharobe jatha korigan. They will all flee at the sound of Govinda's name, just as the deer flee at the sound of the lion's roar. That's from Prem Bhakti Chandrika by Narottam Das Thakur. Baba, is there no happiness even in your world? Even in your world? Then Babaji Maharaj answered, there is no real joy here unless you worship Gaura-Nitāya. There is no joy here unless you worship Gaura-Nitāya. This is my eternal world, while this world of yours is an illusion. Happiness in this world is like the laughing or crying of a dreaming baby. Question: how can we tell if we have received the blessings of Krishna or the Vaishnavas? Answer: Je kore tomar ash, tare koro sarvanash. You ruin everything for someone who aspires to attain you. Kahake o takade, kaharo takane. To some, he gives money, while he makes others penniless. Tomastane aparada nahi paritran. There is no pardon for an offense at your Vaishnav Thakur's feet. So why false vanity? Who will deliver you? To whom should I explain who will understand? To whom should I explain who will understand? I haven't got the slightest bit of attachment to the Vaishnavas. Question: how will I attain Krishna's mercy? You will get his mercy by crying. Who really cries? If you cry with tears of love, you will get the Lord's mercy. Mukhe boli hari hari, kaje anyakori, premavari choked elona. I recite Sri Hari's names, but I act otherwise, so the tears of love do not well up in my eyes. Question: how can we be happy? In renunciation or in enjoyment? Answer: there are saintly persons on the Sarayu River who chant the names of Sita Ram. They are happy. They know no distress. Those who stay with King Duryodhana know no joy. Those who are with King Yudhishthira are happy. Happiness and distress, enjoyment and renunciation are twins. Some people enjoy and some renounce. And question: have you ever been to Mayapur? Yes. Answer: yes. Ow. Sorry. Yes, some call it Mayapur, some call it Navadvīpa. There are buildings all over Mayapur temple sites, and the deity is worshipped under a neem tree. I once went to Mayapur with a torn wrapper and a water pot. Shachinandan Gosai, Mahaprabhu, came and took my water pot. I sat down and waited, and a few minutes later, Shachinandan Gosai came and gave it back. Then I came back here. Very interesting. Okay, so Babaji Maharaj's disappearance day was the Shravan Shukla Chaturthi, which is today. All right, so Jai Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai. All right, so now let's read about Raghunandana Ṭhākura. Look, this is something that Shamali does when she sleeps. She twitches. Wait, she stopped. Anyways, doesn't matter. She was, if she does it again, I'll show you. It's something, yeah, it's really strange. I wonder if it's like she's dreaming or something. Okay, Raghunandana Ṭhākura. There. Śrīla Raghunandana Ṭhākura. Vyuhastritya pradumna priyanarma sako bhavat chakre lila sahayam yo radha madhavayor vraje Shri Caitanya Shri Caitanya Tatanu Sa Eva Raghunandana. That's Gorgonadesh Dipika, verse 70. The third member of the Chaturvyuha, Pradumna, took part in Radha Madhav's Leela and Vraj as Krishna's intimate friends are Priyanarma Saka. He has now appeared as a Raghunandan, whose body is not different from that of Sri Caitanya. Raghunandan's father, Mukunda Das. Raghunandan was born into a family of physicians in the Shaka year 1432, 1511 AD. And there's a footnote here for physicians. It says C chapter and Narahari Sarkar Thakur. Okay. His father's name was Mukunda Das. His mother's, here, he's doing it again. Here, look. See? Like starts twitching and like going all crazy. You can see his nose. Whatever.
Babies do that.
Okay. Huh?
Babies do that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sing or dreaming.
Okay, it's probably a dreaming, huh?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so Mukunda Das was Narahari Sarkar's Thakur's older brother. In the 15th chapter of the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is clearly said that Mukunda Das was a physician to the king. Did I read this? His father's name was Mukunda Das and his mother's name was unknown. Right? Yeah, okay. And Mukunda Das was Narahari Sarkar Thakur's older brother. Okay. So externally, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 15:120. Externally, he appears to be engaged in government service as a physician to the king. But in his inner life, he is filled with divine love. Who can know the extent of his love? Once, when Mukunda Das was engaged in treating the king, he saw a peacock feather and fainted. This incident is also described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 15:121. On the Burdwan Katwa rail line, Shripat Srikhanda station comes first, and then the Srikhanda. Mukunda Das's home is about 1 mile from the Srikhanda station. Raghunandan Thakur took birth on the Vasant Panchami day. His uncle Narahari took a great deal of interest in raising Raghunandan, for whom he had much affection. I've been to Srikhanda a bunch of times, maybe like 10 times or something like that. But yeah, it's not so difficult to get there either. You just go by train. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicated that one's seniority depends on the depth of devotion by telling Mukunda Das's son to be really his father. He said his son is really his father. The three most important devotees from Sri Khanda were Mukunda Das, Raghunandan, and Narahari Sarkar Thakur. Mahaprabhu asked Mukunda Das, are you Raghunandan's father and he your son? Or is he your father and you his son? Tell me so that I can put my doubts to rest. Then Mukunda answered, Raghunandan is my father and I am his son. Rest assured. Whatever devotion we have comes from him. Therefore, I see him as my father. When he heard Mukunda Das's answer, Mahaprabhu was thrilled and said, he from whom we imbibe devotion should always be considered our senior. That's Madhya chapter 15, verses 112 to 117. Raghunandan and the Gopinath deity. Mahaprabhu gave, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 15, Madhya, verse 131. Mahaprabhu gave Raghunandan the service of deity worship. He constantly engaged in the service of Sri Krishna. He had no other intentions. From his early childhood, Raghunandan would feed the family's Gopinath deity ladus. Uddhav Das has written a song in which this Leela is described. So this is a song that I wanted to sing. Anyway, maybe next time I will translate, like I'll get the words up so that we can sing it. Actually, over the next 2 years, I want to translate all the different songs for every appearance day, disappearance day, and then compile it into a book. So I will do that probably next time. Mukunda Das lived in the village. Sorry, this is the song translation. Mukunda Das lived in the village of Sri Khanda with his household deity Gopinath. One day, he had to go somewhere for work, and he called Raghunandan to do the service. He said, "In this house, we worship Krishna. So I want you to be sure to give something to eat. I want to be sure to give him something to eat." And then he left. Raghunandan did as his father had ordered and made the offering to the deity. Raghunandan was just a child, and in his simplicity, he said to Gopinath, "Eat, eat." Krishna is controlled by love, and so he did as the child told him and ate everything on the plate without leaving a grain of rice. When Mukunda Das returned, he asked the boy to bring him the prasad from the offering he had made. The child answered, "Father, he ate everything and left no remnants." Mukunda was so astonished at his child's wondrous words that he asked him to make another offering. This time, after he left the house, he returned and hid to watch what his son did. Raghunandan joyfully placed the laddu in Krishna's hands and said in a commanding voice, "Eat, eat." When Krishna had taken half of the laddu, Mukunda Das came in the doorway. Mukunda saw that Krishna did not take another bite, and that the half-eaten laddu remained in his hands. This caused him to be filled with love. He embraced his child as tears of joy rained from his eyes and spoke to him in a broken voice. To this day, fortunate people come to Sri Khanda to see the half-eaten laddu in Gopinath's hands. Raghunandan is not different from Cupid himself, says Uddhav Das with great feeling. All the Mahantas felt fascinated to see the Gopinath deity whom Raghunandan had fed laddus. That's Bhakti Ratnakara 9.525. And the way I'm used to hearing this story, also like it goes into a little bit more detail. When he tried to offer Gopinath the laddu, then Gopinath didn't do anything. He just sat there on the altar, just like, and he's like, "Eat. I know I don't know any mantras or anything, but like, and I know my father's away. I don't know any mantras, but still, just please eat. Don't fast because of me." And like, and Gopinath wasn't doing anything, and so then he's like started getting like he started to cry. And like, why don't you want to eat from me? And then finally Gopinath's heart melted, and then he got off the altar and went to eat from Raghunandan's offering. So, but yeah, that's children have also like that's maybe we could read that quote that we went over from Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī about the simplicity of children. They have yeah. Okay. Other miraculous, I mean, of course, Raghunandan isn't just any ordinary child, but yeah. Okay. Other miraculous events. Narahari Sarkar Thakur gave honey to Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu from the pond right next to his house. This pond became known as Madhu Pushkarini. The legend is told that a kadamba tree, this is right outside the house there, just right next to it, there's Madhu Pushkarini. The legend is told that a kadamba tree, which grew right next to this pond, always had 2 flowers blooming, regardless of the season, by Raghunandan's miraculous powers. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidan, another miraculous event took place in Raghunandan's life. One day, Abhiram Thakur came to Sri Khanda and paid his obeisances to Raghunandan. Then he embraced him and melted with feelings of prem. Raghunandan started to dance and sing kirtan, and while doing so, one of his ankle bells slipped from his foot and went flying off, landing 4 miles away in Akaihat, near his disciple Krishnadasa's house. Later, in order to commemorate the event, a tank was excavated in that village and given the name Nupurkund. And yeah, I've been to Akaihat also. Every time I go to Sri Khanda, we usually stop at Akaihat, and there's a little Vigraha of Mahaprabhu, like the most short Vigraha of Mahaprabhu, and like really fat and short. It's almost like a It's the most sweet Mahaprabhu Vigraha I've ever seen. And it's also Lochan Das Thakur's Samadhi place, and I think there's also a Grantha Samadhi there, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, okay. Mahaprabhu, the father of Sankirtan, gave his adopted son Raghunandan Ṭhākura the authority to offer the garland on the day before the Sankirtan Yajna, the Adivas, and to make the final offering at the Yajna's end. I like how it says his adopted son Raghunandan. Okay. And actually, we're including a song in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha called the Adivas Kirtan, and it describes the ceremony that Mahaprabhu and all of his associates would do on the day before the big Sankirtan. They would worship. It's called, what is it called? Kol Mangal, I think. It's worshiping the mridanga. They put a garland on the mridanga and like do a whole worship for the mridanga for the big day. Okay, Raghunandan Ṭhākura accompanied the Bengali devotees to Puri every year during the Chaturmasya. He would dance with his uncle Narahari at the Rathayatra festival in the group formed by the residents of Sri Khanda. He participated in the Keturi festival organized by Narottam Das Thakur, at Gadadhar Dasa's festival in Katwa, and at the commemorative festival for Narahari Sarkar Thakur in Sri Khanda. Now here's a quote from Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 9, verse 660. It says, some people said, anyone who is dear to Raghunandan will win Mahaprabhu's mercy for life after life. Others said, Raghunandan is so merciful that he gives life to the humblest and fallen. Some said, what humility! There is no one who is his equal. And others, he is as beautiful as Cupid himself. Śrīla Raghunandan Ṭhākura had great affection for Srinivas Acharya. Prior to his disappearance, he consoled Srinivas Acharya that despite the difficult times, he would be able to spread Vaishnavism in the future. And now this is a quote from where? From Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 13, verses 174 to 179. It says, a difficult time is coming in which people will succumb to various doubts. Narahari Prabhu wrote in his Shri Krishna Bhajanamrita, Krishna Caitanya Chandrena Nityanandena Sanghrite Avatare Kalavasmin Vaishnava Sarva Evahi Bhavishyanti Sadodvigna Kale Kale Dine Dine Praya Sandigdha Hridaya Uttame Tara Madhyama. That means, the translation is, once our Lord Krishna Chaitanya and his companion Nityananda have completed their pastimes in the material world, the Vaishnavas in this age of Kali will become more and more anxious with every passing day. Whether very advanced, somewhat advanced, or neophytes, their hearts will nearly always be filled with doubt. But don't let this worry you. Lord Gauranga will accomplish many great works through you. I bless, and this is, Raghunandan Ṭhākura talking to Srinivas Acharya. He says, Gauranga will accomplish many great works through you. I bless you that you will remain long on this earth, and that you and your followers protect our Lord's religion. Those who are opposed to the devotion to Krishna will become devotees by your influence, and they will take shelter of you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
are we
Archana
doing a song today or no?
Not today, because
Okay.
I didn't realize it was Sarveshwari Mataji reminded me that it's Raghunandan Ṭhākura's disappearance day and Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Maharaj. So we'll go through the song tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and it's already 8 o'clock. So I think we're already at the end of the article. So I mean at the end of this thing. So. Okay, so Raghunandan Ṭhākura bequeathed the service of his Gaur Gopal Didi to his son Kanai Ṭhākura, and then left this world on the 4th day of the waxing moon, Shukla Chaturthi, in the month of Shravan. Kanai Ṭhākura gave a feast as part of his father's last rites. Now here's a quote from Bhakti Ratnakar, and this is how it ends. Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 13, 183 to 184. Raghunandan slowly became hidden to mortal eyes while repeating the names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya again and again. How glorious is that day of Shravan Shukla Chaturthi! Will anyone not sing the glories of Raghunandana Ṭhākura? Jai Śrīla Raghunandana Ṭhākura ki jai. All right, so that's our program for today. I'll do a short kirtan and then we'll end. I think I'll just sing Mahamantra today. One second, let me just get the mridanga. All right. What melody should I do? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Swaparshara, Jai Gora Hari, Swaparshara, Jaya Gora Hari, Jai Swaparshara, Jai Gora Hari, Swaparshara, Jaya Gora Hari, Jaya Raghunandana Ṭhākura, 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 Raghunandana Ṭhākura, Jaya Raghunandana Ṭhākura, Jaya Vaṁśī dāsa, Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, Jai Śrī Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, Jai Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja, Jai Gurudeva,
Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gosvāmī Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti-Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Śrī Rupānu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shard Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vaja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Amuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Jai Shri Śrīla Vaṁśī dāsa Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Tadīya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Jai Śrī Raghunandana Ṭhākura ki jai. Tadīya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Shri Khandavasi Narahari Murari and Mukunda ki jai. Raghunandana Ṭhākura's Gopinath Vigraha ki jai. Jai Shri Khanda ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tīrtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. His book Shri Caitanya and his associates ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna, Sarveshwari Mataji, Satya Mataji, Champak Mataji, Anari Krishna Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Archana Mataji, and Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat pranams Maharaj, and Vrinda Didi, Vidya Lalasa Didi. Vrinda Didi said it's rapid eye movements in deep sleep. when she was twitching like that. All right. Satya Mataji, yes, you have your hand raised?
No.
Haribol. Sorry, I meant to say Sarveshwari Mataji. Oh, no, that was a mistake. Okay. All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. So if anybody has anything they want to say before we end, here's a chance. Otherwise, see you all tomorrow. All right.
Haribol Dabali family. So
Radhe Radhe. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be joining. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of Chandramukhi Didi's Dashmula Shiksha program. So I won't be. But the day after tomorrow, we will go over Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu, and then the day after that will be our Dainik Nadia Prakash session, and then the day after that will be the last day of our of going through these angas of Sharanagati, these 6 angas of Sharanagati. That we'll go through Radha Kunda Tata, Kunja Kutira, where only 2 more kirtans left. And then after is the Bhajan Lalasa section. But all right. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat pranams. See you all.